Hi there, and welcome to this week's Form Time Numeracy Challenge. Let's get started. First question. Not too painful, I think. Pause it, take your time. Now moving on to the second question. A little bit more tricky. Pause it, take your time, but please do make sure you have time for my third question because I love this one. Okay, third question coming up. Okay, spot the difference. Clearly, one image has been rotated 180 degrees. Okay, it's upside down. Are there any other differences? Take your time, think about it. Answers coming up shortly. First question. Okay, so a couple of different ways of doing this. Firstly, we can do it algebraically. We know that the sum of two consecutive whole numbers is 91. Okay, first number is x, second number is x plus 1. We can form an equation and we can solve it using the balancing method. We know that x is 45, so the larger number is going to be one more, is 46. The other way you can do it is if you know the numbers are consecutive, you can actually just divide this number by 2. That would give you 45.5. That would give you the midpoint of those two numbers, or indeed the average of those two numbers. So you just need to subtract half to get 45 for the smaller number and add half to get 46 for the larger number. Right, second part of that question. Think of a number, double it, subtract 14, divide the result by 3, you get an answer of 8. Again, you can do it algebraically. You can form an equation and then you can use the balancing method to solve it. Gives you an answer of x equals 19. That's your original number. Okay, but remember, you can also do inverse operations. You can go back the other way. You start with 8. So instead of dividing by 3, you can multiply 8 by 3. That's going to give you 24. Instead of subtracting 14, add 14. So 24 plus 14 is going to give you 38. So at this point, again, I'm still working backwards. Instead of doubling my number, I'm going to halve it. So if I've got 38 and I halve it, I'm going to get 19. Okay, and always substitute your answer back in, and then you can run back through and make sure you do indeed get 8 as your answer. Okay, so the answer to question 1, second part of question 1 is 19. Question 2. This is quite a challenging question. We have to think about it a little bit, okay? Some of our ewes have twins. They have 2 newborn lambs, and some just have 1. There's 364 ewes, the mums, and there are 468 lambs. So we have to work out how many of the ewes have twin lambs. So in order to do that, we need, again, to form and solve an equation. So if the number of ewes that have twin lambs is x, then the number of ewes that only have 1 lamb is 364, subtract x, okay? So now let's look at the number of lambs, okay? So if x is the number of ewes that has twin lambs, then obviously they are going to have 2 lots of lambs each, okay? So for every ewe, there's going to be 2 lambs, so we need to double the x to get 2x, okay? And then this second part here, remember, these ewes, the 364 subtract x, they only get 1 ewe each, 1 lamb each, okay? So 2x plus 364 subtract x gives us 468. I can simplify this, and that is going to give me just x on its own here. I can subtract 364 from both sides, gives me x equals 104. So that means 104 of our ewes have twin lambs. Again, you can check that by substituting it back in and making sure that you end up with the correct answers of 468 lambs and 364 ewes. Anyway, my favorite question of today. I'm going to go back to the question actually before. So that was the question. We wanted to spot the difference. I wonder how many of you realized that the eyes have not been rotated and the mouth has not been rotated. Let's see what the result is. Are you ready? There we go. Sorry, thought we'd end on that one. Sorry, Barak, not the most flattering image of you, but I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much.